On this week's show, you're going to see a side of the gun community you probably don't hear a lot about. Welcome to God, Guns, and American Freedom. Folks, on this episode of God, Guns, and American Freedom, we're in Richburg, South Carolina at Rocky Creek Sporting Clays. I'm with my friend Sabrina Gast. Sabrina, would you explain for the viewers your role as the coroner and why we're here today?
Sure. As the coroner for York County, I'm responsible for investigating any suspicious death or any death that occurs outside of a hospital facility. That means that I am responsible for responding to accident scenes, homicide scenes, natural deaths at home, suicides, anything that would be deemed suspicious or unusual. The coroner's office is responsible for attending.
Right. So why are we here today? Why are we doing this fundraiser?
We're doing this fundraiser for Stop Impaired Driving. It is a new group that we are trying to raise some funds for. It's a group that our office interacts with a great deal because they work with the innocent victims of drunk driving. It could be the actual person that's struck by the drunk driver, or in our case, in our office, we actually work with the families that are left behind when the individuals are killed by the drunk driver. So we're here to try to help them raise some money to support those families' needs in whatever capacity that we can do.
We talked to drunk drivers that have been convicted. That was part of their sentencing or their treatment. They had to come through the victim impact panel. And we got to tell them how we felt and what we went through and how we dealt with it. And, you know, I showed pictures of my car that was crashed. I showed pictures of my husband without his head. I showed pictures of my son in a body bag. I show those pictures because it's the truth. It's not a scare tactic. This is what can happen if they continue to drink and drive. It's
Right.
not a boot camp with
It's
this.
not a victim of crime.
No, it's not a victimless crime.
We're back with Sabrina Gast. Sabrina, thanks for joining us.
Thank you.
Tell us, how did you get involved with Hester and Stop Impaired Driving, and this? How did you meet and get involved with this?
I met Hester after she pulled together a meeting of starting Stop Impaired Driving. She just seemed like somebody that was very passionate about her job, and the job that she does and the work that she does is very invaluable to the families that I work with in the coroner's office.
Right. And so you met her about a year ago then?
Yes, about a year ago.
And what made you today decide to sponsor or host a sporting clays event for Hester?
In the coroner's office, we decided that we would take on the challenge of doing a community service project, and we had Hester come and do an educational component in one of our staff meetings, and we decided as a office that this was something that we would like to support and to do. So we started pulling together things that we thought would help her, and she said that she needed money. She was hurting with funding, especially due to the economic situation that we're in right now, and we decided that we would try to help her raise some funds and do a fundraiser for her for benefiting the Stop Impaired Driving.
Cool, good deal. So what made you choose to do a sporting clays event?
It was something that not very many people have done in the area, and I thought that it would be a good challenge for us to do. And it's a beautiful day, it's a beautiful location, and we were able to get some of the families that Stop Impaired Driving is supporting to be able to come out and be with us today. And I thought it would just be a great scenario all the way around.
Sabrina, in your job as a coroner, you're obviously see and are impacted by the devastation that takes place. Talk about that for a minute.
One of the most difficult parts of my job is actually making family notifications. To go to someone's home in the middle of the night and to knock on that door and wait patiently for them to come to the door on the other side and ask them to trust you enough to step inside and then have to break the news to them that their loved one isn't coming home that night as a result of a drunk driving crash, or any type of crash for that matter, is one of the most difficult parts for me. Because when you utter those words, your son Johnny is not coming home tonight, he was killed in a car accident 30 minutes ago or an hour ago, you take away something from that family that can never ever be given back, and you change their life from that point forward. And that, most of the time, especially with drunk driving accidents, that is something that is 100% preventable. And I'm hoping that we can help this agency help pick up the pieces a little bit for those families and the individuals that are left behind from these car crashes.
Now, do you work with Hester's organization directly, where when you've been called out and you're working with the family?
Well, we do refer her agency to the families that we work with, because we know if the families are, if our victims have died as a result of a drunk driver or drunk driving crash, we actually refer that family to Stop Impaired Driving so that she can intervene with them and help them through the processes that they're going to have to be going through, court and all the numerous things that they can assist with.
Right. Folks, we hope you enjoy the sights and sounds from this event today at Rocky Creek Sporting Clays in Richburg, South Carolina.